Hi guys, and welcome back to another Positions of the Week video. This week we're going to be looking at, as always, what happened in the previous week, trades that were closed and current active running positions. So the best way to start this really is by looking at the community chat that we have for IYF trading and looking at the closed positions and active positions rounded up nicely by our head trader Oliver Davis. So weekly closed positions, a little bit of a weird week. We had a couple of good trades and then a few losing ones as well. But this shows a really key point about trading. So we only actually had two positions that closed profitable, and we actually did have in total 7 positions that closed last week, but we still managed to only make a slight loss of 33 pips. Obviously the last few weeks we've made hundreds of pips, so it's just trading, and that is trading. It's the way it goes. You can't win all the time, and I think this is demonstrated nicely by the fact that our current open positions are over 219 pips running, so quite easily to sort of boast our record, we could have closed all of the open positions and then had a positive 180 odd pips profit for last week. But we've left our positions open because we believe in the positions still very much and they're working well for us at the moment. And we're happy to state that we did make a loss last week. But one key lesson, as I was saying, so Euro Australian dollar 90 pips profit and dollar yen 42 pips profit. 2 winning trades, 7 losing trades, but we've only just sort of fallen below the break-even point. So it's a case of, if you have, it doesn't actually matter what your win ratio is in trading. It's all about how many pips you're making. Because, for example, we see a lot of guys nowadays now have outstanding win ratios and be boasting about their win ratios, but in reality that's not what is important. If you win 9 out of 10 trades and the 9 trades that you win take 10 pips and you're 90 pips up, but the one trade you loses 200 pips and you still lost money. So that's why win ratio is never important in trading. It's more to do with sort of your risk to reward and the return on an individual position. So that is pretty much the summary. And like I said, we have some amazing positions that are currently active on the portal, such as Swissy franc yen, great trade, Euro CAD as well, and of course we closed another nice Euro Australian dollar trade last week. So if we head over to IYF trading, we'll have a look at some of the portal trades now. To be honest with you, there's no like outstanding huge trades from last week, so there's nothing that I want to look into in depth, but it's more of just a generic roundup. But if we scroll down, firstly we're going to have a little bit of a look at some of the active positions that we've got going on at the moment. So for example, let's try and find pop-ups. So firstly, the closed position last week. So you saw how we had 1 winning and 1 losing Euro Australian dollar, and this is another thing that's really important. So Richard took 90 pips on this trade here, but lost 35 pips on this trade here. So it's a case of he's re-entered the position in a sell position on EURAUD, but he's already banked 90 pips. So the fact that 35 pips then went against him, he got out of the trade quick enough, and we're still 60 pips up on that pairing, which is really important. So I do feel as if it's another lesson to learn in terms of banking profit, which will enable you to be able to re-enter a position if need be. And for example, Richard's done it perfectly here on the Euro Australian dollar trade. I definitely feel like we sort of had a very good last few weeks of October and a start to November, and now it's kind of just sort of gripping the markets again, ready for the week ahead. I feel like that's a really important aspect of our trading at the moment. I wanted to have a look into maybe one of the losing positions last week to see actually what happened. So it would be this Euro Yen trade, which one of the biggest losers of 50 pips. Again, 50 pips isn't a life-changing amount, but it's more so that Rich has managed to get out of this position earlier than originally anticipated, purely because he's seen the market go against him. And that's another learning point for all of you guys. Richard has 25 years experience, just at Lloyd's investment banking senior roles, and probably a total of 35 years of experience. And I think what we can learn from this position is the fact that even though his stop loss was a little bit more than 50 pips, he's got out of the trade early because he's seen him go against him. So again, you've just got to really face the consequences and be accountable for your trading. Otherwise, you're going to really struggle to get anywhere with it. If you can see a trade going against you and it's broken against all of the rules that you were looking for in the first place, and just get out of the position. Sometimes taking a loss is the best thing to do. But yeah, to be honest, there's not really too much to talk about in terms of individual positions. I mean, Swiss yen's running lovely at 100 pips. We can head over and have a look at that in a minute on TradingView. And of course, in terms of the weekly close positions, we've looked at the Euro Australian dollar and the comparison between the two trades. And again, there's not really a lot of big positions to look into inherently. So to be honest, let's have a look at and finish this video by looking at the current position that we have on the Swiss yen, just to see the sort of movement that we're incurring on it and where we're looking for it to go this week. It is, of course, a Monday, and we normally upload our positions of the week video on a Monday, but that will be later on today, purely because I had a bit of a busy weekend, so getting around to position of the week, and then I'll come back and hit you guys with the trades of the week to watch for in our watch list. So as you can see, Swissy franc, it's had a little bit of a pullback since market open. But nevertheless, it's doing quite well. If we flip over to the 4 hourly chart, you can see the markets sort of reopen around this time. They've had another really nice move upwards. On the hourly, it started to contract a little bit, but more so it's probably around 135 pips in profit now. So it's a case of, look, we stuck to our guns. We believe in the position. We had 100 pips there to take on the table, but we'd adjust our stop losses anyway. So even if it did come back down and contract, we were still taking a healthy profit. But we've let it run into the new week, and it's paid dividends already. So great position, sticking to our guns and managing our risk appropriately, moving our risk levels up. So that is pretty much all for the positions of the week. Like I said, pretty slow week. Some really nice open positions running. If you guys currently aren't a member with us here at IYF, then potentially have a look at some of the open positions we've got at the moment, such as Australian, New Zealand dollar, but more so watch our trades of the week video later on, as it will give you an insight into what we're looking to trade this week.